Make the bad man stop.
Hi, everyone. This is Dylan Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk entertainment. Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun today. It is St. Patrick's Day. We're going to talk about the big sign of Ricky Seals-Jones. We're going to talk about the Baker Mayfield swap for Daniel Jones that Cleveland would never do. We're going to talk about the salary cap. We're going to talk about James Bradberry again for a moment. Oh, but you know what? I want to talk about Ricky Seals-Jones, the big signing, the big tight end. All 6'5", 243 pounds. Undrafted free agent of Texas A&M. I love people on Twitter, the Twitterites. I love it because Joe Schoen has done such a marvelous job of creating something with this team, with his free agent signings, that the Twitterites have just snatched it up, have just grabbed onto it. Schoen has basically said that we're going after guys that just need a chance, just need an opportunity, just need that something special. They just needed a chance. That's all they need. And they're going to come in here and they can perform. And the Twitter people see this and go, oh my God, he's right. These aren't bargain bin free agents. These are guys that are hidden gems that just needed a chance. I guess you got to hold on to something in life. Ricky Seals-Jones, of course, has been in the league for, 5 years now. He was with Arizona going back to 17. He went to Arizona, then Cleveland, then Kansas City, then Washington. Last year, he played in 13 games, 6 games started, total 9, targeted 49 times, 30 catches, 271 for 9 yards a carry. Catch, I should say, 2 touchdowns and 14, just 2 touchdowns. His catch percentage is 61.2%, which is a little low for a tight end. He missed all of 2000. He missed 2 games. I missed all but two games in 2020 for Kansas City. His biggest year, I guess you would say, would have to be in 18 when he had 34 receptions for 343 yards and 1 touchdown. Again, his catch percentage was only 49.3%. I think we need to look at that a little bit, because if you have a career catch percentage for a tight end, he's going to be your starter at 53.3%. I don't know if that's a hidden gem. I think that's just a guy that's going to come in and be a fill-in starter till we can find somebody. Or maybe draft somebody. You figure with his size and his ability, he should be a good blocker or block well enough to be a starting tight end. I'm not going to get overly excited about it because, like I said, he is what he is. He's a bargain guy coming in here. He is a guy that was a former wide receiver in college. And he's he's becoming more and more of a reliable pass catcher. He's probably going to be a security blanket for Daniel Jones. He could easily be the starter, but that's not saying much because we really don't have anyone in the tight end room. I do think the Giants are going to be looking elsewhere, I should say, via the draft maybe for a tight end. I mean, you got to give the signing a solid C, but you have to give the PR job a solid A for the Schoen. Because any signing that we make is going to be, that's like people getting excited about Feliciano, who's missed 15 games in 2 seasons, who's only had about 300 career snaps at center, but he's going to be Bart Oates. He's going to be Sean O'Hara. We're all good with that. We're all going to be good with that. I just can't take it. I thought we got smart over the offseason. I really did. And I should say it's a small percentage of fans, but I thought that small percentage got smarter. Of course, I want to talk about the salary cap real quick here. Giants, of course, guaranteed $2.5 million to James Bradberry, which you figured they're not going to just outright release him. They're going to try to find the best deal possible for Bradberry. There are still some moves that they can make on this roster, clear some cap space. If you look at the Rule of 51 cutoff, you can get rid of people like Lewerke. You know, if we say David Sills, we gave David Sills $825,000. Why, Lord? Why? Why for a practice guy? You can drop like Bachman and David Moa and Nico if you have to. You got, what's his name? You got Raymond Johnson III if you want to get rid of him. There are plenty of moves or ancillary moves that the Giants can make to further get under the salary cap by just moving some of these guys from the Rule of 51. So you know what? I'm not worried about the cap situation. It is what it is. We're going to be what we're going to be. We just need to make sure we're finding enough cap room, of course, to sign our 2 top 10 guys in the rookie pool. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be interesting as it is, because I find it funny that a lot of people when they do their draft analysis, when they look at when they not draft, I should say their salary cap analysis, they don't include the rookie pool. You got to include the rookie pool, guys. It makes it a little bit easier when you do that. But there are some guys and some things that we can do to move on and move forward. So I am concerned because our projected, you're looking at a total projected cap hit or rookie pool for the top just for the rookies projected itself. It's almost $16 million if you go by the rule of 51. So, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be close. Like I said, if you want to get excited about Ricky Seals-Jones, whatever his name is, that's fine, because it is what it is. You know what? You hope, and I've said this before, on bad teams, people still need to make plays. So if Seals comes in there and catches 40 balls for 400 yards and 2 touchdowns, you got to be happy with that. Plain and simple. Want to talk about Baker Mayfield? Evidently, Baker Mayfield was worn out as welcome big time in Cleveland. They basically said that they're looking for an adult to be the quarterback. I mean, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad to say. There's going to be a market for Baker. Most people forget that it was just in 2020 that Baker had a team at 11-5, completed 62% of his passes, over 563 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. He's a kid that can still make things happen. He's until last year, like I said, he had 2 seasons in a row where he started every game. And technically, if you go back to 18, he didn't really miss a game due to injuries. So, I mean, and then he played in 14 games with a muscle tear in his non-throwing shoulder, which if you've ever tried to throw a ball with a tear in your other shoulder or pain in your other shoulder, it affects your throw. And if you watched any of the Cleveland games, and I did last year, you could see he did not have the same velocity on the passes that he's had in the previous seasons. I think they're just ready to move on. I think Cleveland feels that they need to purge, people out of the Cleveland hierarchy. They need to get rid of guys. That's, like the OBJ thing. And now I think Baker Mayfield is next. He's going to go somewhere. I still think he's going to go to Indianapolis. But if the Giants if Cleveland called and said, hey, listen, Shane, listen up for a second here. I'm going to swap quarterbacks. I'm going to give you Baker Mayfield, and I'm going to swap him outright for Daniel Jones. What do you think? I'm going to tell you the first thing I would think. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, all right. Because you got a kid in Baker Mayfield who some people think he's a douchebag, who is media savvy enough, I think, to fill into the New York market. He's got thick enough skin. After playing in Cleveland and taking everything, and also being over in Oklahoma, so he's not a guy that I think he's a guy that will not shy away from the New York market. I think he would be a boisterous voice in New York, and I think that that's something that we have so sorely missed here. With the Giant organization. I'm not saying we need a flamboyant quarterback, but we need a quarterback that doesn't seem to be afraid of the spotlight. And Baker I think, would be that guy. And like I said, you could probably get him at a bargain price. Well, maybe a first rounder. That's probably not a bargain price. But, if you look back, he does have a career record of only 29 and 30. But a lot of that's not his fault. A lot of that's the team's fault as well. It's, like they always said, the quarterback gets too much of the praise and he gets too much of the blame. But like I said, I would take Giant fans would be jumping around if their quarterback threw for over 3,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, completed 60% of his passes, and was doing that with a tear in his non-throwing shoulder. I think if some Giant fans are ecstatic over what Daniel Jones does and barely does, and then you compare him to Baker Mayfield numbers, people would be, we would have the quarterback messiah. We would have Bo Callahan. I just think Baker needs a new spot. I think Cleveland needs a new spot. Like I said, he's not coming to the Giants, but if that call was ever made and I was Joe Shane, I'd be sitting there going, yeah, okay. Straight up swap. Here you go. I'm happy with that. Let's give Baker number 6 and call it a day. But we're still drafting Malik Willis.
Malik Willis. Bring in the boom.
Don't anyone ever forget that. And again, this is Tim. You know what? The app. Just a little news here. The app is getting approved still. Usually it takes 3 to 5 business days for the app to be fully approved, so we have to wait and see what happens with that. And it will be on the Google Play Store only first, and it is free. We'll have the big stream on Sunday like we always do, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Today is, of course, Thursday, so we'll have a video tomorrow. Probably not one on Saturday, unless something exciting happens in New York Giant land. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giant sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you like, you can subscribe. Ring that bell, you know what it means. That'd be awesome.